even shaking in vibration. Today I just thought that there are quite a lot of people who have come for the first time, and I should tell them about the significance of puja. Because as the Western style of life is, that they are meant to be like this, to seek something outside, to go outside, find out new ways and methods to grow outside. Now, this is the knowledge of your roots, knowledge through which you receive your nourishment. It is not known to you before. This knowledge is not known to you before and was not deliberately told, because you are supposed to grow outside. Now when you have to go inside, then you have to understand the divine laws and divine methods, how it works out. The puja has a significance. From ancient times, the saints described them. Because in India, the whole climate is such that you can live under a tree, live in a forest, no problem, can eat fruits, and very happily you could be in a forest. There's no need to have a bed or anything, it's so warm and nice. You can always enjoy the bliss of a forest. And thus many people went into the forest and started thinking, looking at the whole world from that solitude. What's the problem with human beings? Why are we here? What should we do? What's the purpose of this human life? Why God has given us this beautiful human life? So they started thinking about it. And that's how they went into meditative positions, meditative entry within themselves. And when they started meditating, they found out all about Kundalini, about chakras, and the deities that reside on them. Now these deities have resided from eternal times. We can say in the abode of God. They have all resided there. And then they were reflected on this earth and they incarnated just to give us a better and better awareness. We could have avoided all this. It could have been very easy if we had listened to God at the time of Adam and Eve. At the time of Adam and Eve, it was told that you should not eat the fruit of knowledge. Now that was not the fruit of the true knowledge, but the fruit of knowledge was the knowledge about the matter, the knowledge about things. So, as you know, the story is, satanic forces worked, they lured both of them and they started developing themselves on the other side. That's how we made a mistake. That's why it is called as original sin. And that original sin has brought us to this brink now, and we have to go back. We have to go back within ourselves to find our roots. And that's why, to improve on their mistakes and to improve on their ignorance, that's how the first ignorance was setting. The darkness of ignorance was setting because of that mistake. And then from darkness we had to come to human stage. And when we have to come to human stage, we have to pass through all those different various stages of life where incarnations had to take place. So now, as you know very well, that we have incarnations placed within our centers which are not yet awakened. That means they are not in our attention, they are not to be felt in our central nervous system, or we cannot feel them on our fingertips, to be very, very simple. So they are there, but they are not acting according to our desire. We do not know them and they do not listen to us. They do what is right for them or what they think is proper. You have no connection with them so far. So the first thing is to connect yourself with those different stages through which we have passed. So the first, as you know, is the Ganesha stage. It is innocence. Innocence, the formless of innocence was made into Shri Ganesh. Because some nucleus has to emit that innocence. Now in the whole world, there are 8 such creations of the Mother Earth, and luckily they are in Maharashtra. You will find Maharashtrian people on the whole are innocent compared to us. They are rather innocent by nature. And the reason is from the Mother Earth only the innocence is emitted. So the first thing is that within us, to establish innocence, we have to worship Shri Ganesh. So when you worship me as Shri Ganesh, the Shri Ganesha within you is awakened. You will see the result of that. So the people who are suffering, say, from the trouble of all these perversions, these modern diseases that have come, must establish their Shri Ganesh. If they cannot establish their Shri Ganesh, they cannot be cured. So their innocence has to be first established. If we cannot establish their innocence, we cannot cure them. First and foremost thing is to establish Shri Ganesh. And Shri Ganesh is made out of the Mother Earth element. So by praying to Shri Ganesha, we also establish it in a city, in a place like this place now is San Francisco, where I came here first. We had no puja, nothing. That's why the whole thing was just touch and go. I couldn't go deep into people, I couldn't go deep into the place, and so I didn't know how I'll be able to manage, because there is no education on this. People are not educated about it. But in India, immediately the first thing is puja. They will not come to my lecture, they will not come to anything. First is puja. If there's a puja, everybody is getting up at 4 o'clock, having a bath, getting ready to come to puja, because they know the importance of it. That your essence is awakened by puja. Essence is awakened, and to awaken the essence, you have to be there at a place where this is done, so that your essence is awakened. Now the trouble is, with ego-oriented societies, very difficult to tell them about puja. They find it difficult. That's why we do not allow everyone to come to puja, for one reason, because as soon as they see something happening, their ego stands up. You see, and instead of doing anything to them, the barrier is so much that I can't just do anything about it. The barrier is too much in their ego. They have their own ideas, their own conceptions, their own feelings, and it's impossible to penetrate deep into them. So it's a waste. And if you cannot receive the vibrations, I feel the pain in my own centers, because the deities, you see, get so annoyed and they don't like it, and they think that why Mother should waste their energy with these people who do not understand about puja. So I want to prepare you beforehand that you keep yourself open. Don't allow your ego to come out. It's nothing for me to gain, it is for you to gain. Keep your minds open. The trouble is, at the time of this Sahasrara opening, this brain, everybody's brain is upside down. It's impossible. You try to turn it and they jump on you. It's the big problem for me. It's the biggest problem, because all other incarnations came, they didn't have to do this difficult work of making you something. Just it was to awaken within you a awareness, like Christ had to awaken your Agya Chakra. Alright, He crucified Himself for the same reason, He resurrected Himself for the same reason. It was a very hard life for Him, and for the Mother it was even worse, no doubt. But still, one should know that this is a very hazardous thing, to transform people and then to establish them, create out of these little seeds a huge big tree of a saint. Now in the same way, we have got Moses, so we have got Abraham. All these great saints are within in our world. They are the gurus. And on a Guru Puja, when you worship me on a Guru Puja day, that time these are awakened within you, and you become a master. You become yourself a guru. You yourself know so much. Even I don't have to tell you, I don't think I have talked to people very much in private or explained to things. But somehow they have become so much full of knowledge that's rather surprising how they understand. Like I was talking to Yogi Mahajan, and he was telling me what's the problem is with human beings, and you see, he was telling me how we cannot relate to them and all. It was interesting because my father did the same to me. I said that he's my first guru and all of you are my second gurus. Because I don't understand human beings. See, for example, this homosexual business, when Gregor, with very great reluctance, told me through somebody else, I really fainted. Actually, I couldn't understand what's happened to them. Now what am I to do? And I couldn't eat my food for 1 week. I felt so bad about the whole thing, like my own children were nothing. If you have a heart of an intense mother, you can understand what she feels about it. And I knew they are in for trouble. I knew everything is going to be very, very hazardous. But it doesn't matter. By God's grace, everything will be alright. I'm sure it will work out. So first we have to establish Shri Ganesha. First of all, we have to establish Shri Ganesha within ourselves and Shri Ganesha in this place called San Francisco. Alright? That's why we have to first do the Shri Ganesha's puja. Then secondly, I told him that if possible we should do little bit of Shri Vishnu's, because he is the one who gives us evolutionary power by which we can evolve ourselves and evolve others. So we have a little time for Shri Vishnu's puja. Also they do havanas and all that for Shri Vishnu's puja, which is very good to clear the atmosphere sort of thing. But we'll do next year all these things, perhaps maybe, because just now we don't have all those arrangements. But that would be a very good idea too. And then thirdly, they want to do the power, the puja of the Shakti, the mother, because unless and until you have power, even if all the deities are there, you'll be exhausted, you won't be able to work it out. So the third is of your own power, of your Kundalini, of the power that is going to work out this divine work. That's how we have three-puja. But none of you should get into an ego trip. Please keep your ego on one side. Just now see for yourself how it works within yourself. You start feeling good, you start feeling better vibrations, and you start feeling much better and healthier within yourself. So just keep yourself open. It is you who has to achieve something, not me. I don't have to achieve anything. So you better make use of me. Because I am here only for today and then I'll go away. So make best use of me. And that's why I said as many as possible try to call the people over here. It will be a good idea. May God bless you. So the first is the Ganesha Puja. At that time they wash my feet. See? Ganesha is the devotee only of the mother, not even of the father. He's only worried about his mother and he only worship the mother. And once the mother said, alright. He had another brother who was Kartikeya, who was the one who was created especially to kill one of the Rakshasas, and who goes on a peacock. While Ganesha has got a simple little mouse as its conveyance to show that it has no ego, it doesn't need a Cadillac, it needs just a little mouse, the smallest animal that moves it uses for. They are very symbolic things, and there are many lectures of mine in which you will learn all about it. So this Shri Ganesh, when you are we are worshipping him, we have to be very humble. He has just an ordinary mouse as his conveyance, and his mother was told that anyone who goes round the world and comes first, we have to give them a present. And both of them thought that it's a good idea. But Shri Ganesh thought that this one, Kartikeya, is such a fast one, he'll go on his peacock flying all over. I cannot compete with him. And he's the embodiment of wisdom. He said, who is greater than my mother? So he went round his mother only 3 times and he got the prize. Still the other fellow was going round somewhere else, because that's a fact. And she gave him the prize. So that's what it is. That one has to understand that the mother's dedication is much more beneficial than any other dedication, because she doesn't want it. Because she's so dedicated to you that you achieve the best from her only. She'll go on giving. The more you ask, the more you'll have. The more you want it, the more she'll give you. So it is better to depend on a source which is all the time available to you. And it's very gentle and kind and affectionate and loving. So it's better to depend on someone like that than to depend on any guru who might hit you hard or do something or make you stand upside down. And the father who can be very wrathful. Sometimes, the father is all the time waiting just to destroy the world, and you have to ask him, just wait. The father can be very wrathful destroyer. So now, there's something I got for I hope you have shown them. The present for the center, I brought this one for the center here, and I hope this one. As a present, I'll give it to someone from here. Ursula, you can take it. May God bless you. In India, I can get many more things better suited for puja. But when you come next, I'll give you in real silver. It's easy to get than here, only silver plated. I'm sorry. This is a nice thing you got from India, but this you must get for every center. Now they are carrying all over. You all can get it, and we should send them to all the centers. It's very easy from Delhi. We got it. Now those who have never washed my feet should wash today, and those who have washed many a time should not wash. And one sitting here. He very nicely asked me, should we all wash? I said no. Alright. There's a competition in India, you see, and some people try to cheat. Yes.
We say the mantras.
Now this one is something right. And now red, it has the what you call wavelength, which can be seen by anyone. The fastest, you see, it has such a short wavelength. They say that it can pass through and bend itself very well. That's why this is the red mark they have described in the Bible. Now the red mark, this is made out of a very auspicious thing and then burnt into this color. This is the color of Shri Ganesha. And if you put it in the night before sleeping on your forehead, if you are possessed, the possession will leave you. But it should be vibrated. Once it is vibrated, it has that power. And it really clears. I will try today on some of you. It clears completely your head, makes it properly fixed. Because he is going to say mantra, I am putting this for him. All these have significance only when they are vibrating. Without vibration, it is empty ritual. See, lag raha hai na? Just screw, the screw, tight one, is loosened. Or if it is loose, it is tightened. You all will feel it also. On the collective.